what kind of craziness are you looking for to see on this Randomizer as we get started?
You could also see Lionels, and a lot of Lionels. Now, in Zelda 1 Rando, there's a saying that goes, it's not really a Zelda Rando until you have a Lionel death. That really holds true in Randomizer, because you could get a Lionel death pretty much anywhere.
So we already have some crazy switches here. Willard's going to go do the Houlihan room, and he's doing that by actually fake flipping from Link's house. And Andy's going to be checking Uncle, which honestly, he got... actually, the last game, Willard got bit by Uncle. There was a pretty important item there, Mirror. And they have the red boomerang to start, and right now, as Willard is picking up his money from Houlihan, and Andy is going to be robbing his uncle of 20 rupees. Let's see where they end up going next. Probably a Kakariko dive pretty soon. All right. The map in the Sanctuary. So most likely the key is going to be in the actual escape. Less likely chance of it being in the back with finding the map already. So heading on over to Kakariko now. So far, we've had kind of a nice enemy mix. Whoa, wow. Okay. Got the Stalfos Knight there. Gibdo. So far, we haven't seen anything major on the Randomizer.
Wizzy. Or Wizrobe. That Wizzy's just a quick call name. But I did see a quick map check from Willard's side, and we do have a red crystal up Tower of Erma. I did see a pendant over in Desert, but I did not see if it was green or not. It was too quick.
Yeah, I missed that part myself, unfortunately. Okay, a piece of heart in the drop down there.
Those are more valuable in expert mode due to the limited health resources that are available. So these runners are probably going to be picking up as many of those as they can.
Yeah, the more hearts they find, the better. With expert, there's not many to be found. Usually they're going to be at max 5 hearts, and even then that's pretty rare. So finding a heart piece is kind of valuable. So yeah, we got 1 5, and it was the green pendant in Desert Palace, it looks like.
Now, it's worth noting that in expert mode, the only thing the boomerangs are going to be useful for are picking up items in the distance and hitting switches. That's it, as Andy gets bombos and a green potion. Because boomerangs and the hook shot will not stun.
Okay, so that was bombos and a green potion you said that we found, right? So we found one of the bottles.
That does open up another check in the village. There's the lamp, so if you wanted to see darkroom shenanigans and Randomizer, well, not this time. Sorry. Although, to be fair, dark rooms in Randomizer are very scary. You could get hacked by something you don't even know that's there, especially an expert.
So we're not going to see any darkroom traveling today. We have the lamp. That usually points towards an early Aghanim. They need to find either the Master Sword or a cape. Most likely the cape, because there's only in expert. There's only 2 swords. Am I right? There's not 4 swords up. 4 sword upgrades.
That's right. Only 2, and only 2, which is what's needed to beat the game. So you're going to be seeing spins against Ganon.
Yeah,
you know that much.
Now, I am disappointed in this game right now. How are you going to give us a vanilla chicken hut? Why are you going to do that? That's not right. This is Randomizer, guys. Come on.
Well, it gives our runners a chance to go for chicken clip. Only Willard went for it, but unfortunately it stopped short. Hey, there's our first sword back at the bar.
Okay, and that may be correct, Fear Guys. I'm not sure about the. So there's 4 swords, but you can only get 2, so they turn into 20 rupees afterwards, if I'm not mistaken. So
That's right.
they can only collect 2 swords. So there's 4 in the actual pool, but they can only get to them. So it's easier to find, but you can't get more than a master sword. So we have found 1 sword, and the book is on the race game. Okay, so is that trying to point you towards an early green pendant here, maybe? We have our fire. We just don't know if we can get through without the boots. And
That may be, but we could also have a situation where it's the item on Desert Ledge that's needed. I've seen that a few times.
that is very true. And it very well could be something like the boots on the ledge and things of that nature. Now, something funny, the bushes are more likely to actually drop enemies in Randomizer, and they're random enemies. So you could be slicing through those bushes and get a Beamos, and be like, who put this Beamos in a bush?
That would be pretty nasty, especially if it's on a path that you need to traverse on, and you're on a 15-second timer. Does Willard get it, or did he get it? Oh, he's in there.
He got the same time as Andy did, so... Oh, fire bar. Alright, so we're going to be getting our South Shore checks and seeing what's in the dam, as well as the Mini Moldorm Cave, which is pretty much the new Hype Cave.
Yeah, the old Hype Cave is only Hype and Combo Rando, pretty much.
Inverted Hype Cave can be pretty nice, too. Once you actually... Inverted typically has something, but, So we're going to be seeing what the sunken chest is, as well as... I'm wondering if one of these guys decides to go over to Agina early, because they have that book, or if they're just going to go ahead and try to go to Ice Rod Cave and do the typical path.
Well, that piece of heart makes 4 for Andy, and will be 4 for Willard as well. The Mini Moldorm Cave is not a guarantee because, again, Randomizer could throw something nasty in there.
Well, it's just so happens to be 3 Moldorms and a Mini Helmasaur, still holding to the Mini name. So, I've seen some pretty ugly stuff in Mini Moldorm Cave. It has to be killable stuff, but you could walk in there and end up having to fight a bunch of bomb-throwing crazy guys. So, bottle bombs, 5 rupees. Silver arrows, which they cannot use until Ganon. Silver arrows are not useful until Ganon in expert or hard mode and up. So, nothing progression-wise in Mini Moldorm Cave.
Well, the silvers will save plenty of time for both runners because now they won't have to do the 52 spins to win deal.
Yeah, and the bushcraft's given bombs today. That's actually really useful. Anytime you have that, it just makes it to where you don't have to worry about using bombs against some enemies. So, all right, and typically the Ice Rod Cave area is so dangerous in normal because you have the crabs and they do 2 hearts of damage, and on expert mode, that's a lot of damage. Getting kind of lucky having 1 unfortunate enemy there. Those dead rocks are a pain in the butt, but another piece of heart. So we're finding all the hearts early in expert mode. That's crazy. So the choice today was actually Andy, and there was 1 veto from Willard, and that was no inverted. So everything that was chosen today was done by Andy pretty much just saying no inverted. So you've got expert mode, all dungeons, randomized swords, and Randomizer. So you're going to have Chaos Boss, meaning any boss can show up anywhere in the dungeon. Well, not anywhere in the dungeon, excuse me, at the end of each dungeon. And then the enemies are going to be randomized all over with normal damages.
That's why you see a Wizrobe in Hyrule Castle.
Mm-hmm. So escape is one of the areas that can be really dangerous if you're not careful. There's a lot of things that can cause you trouble. It's got a lot of enemies that you're just not expecting. I've seen the hands drop down and take a grab at you. Oh man, that's a Dark World guard. It's gonna take a lot of swings. Okay.
Here's the ball. Nice read by Andy. And that's not easy because these are the guards that will just aggro right onto you as well. And speaking of not easy, how about fake flippering in Randomizer knowing full well that at any point an enemy could just pop you and you're dead right there on the spot?
Mm-hmm. And if I'm not mistaken, that was a flute on the island. So we're gonna need Mirror to get the flute and flippers. So Meyer might be off the table for a little while. I like both of these plays. No matter what they actually have found, I like both of these plays. Fake flippering, getting a check out of the way that otherwise is kind of out of the way when you find flippers. The sequence break isn't that huge. Willard going down escape because that's a lot of item checks, but it's a time sink. They're both really good plays. And the most intimidating boss in the game, a little snake. Our glove.
The value.
Our glove.
What?
So escape has been very valuable. Finding glove as well as the bow. Yeah, escape, man, that was the play. Gonna go back and check our Dark Cross, see what's there. If it's a key, probably keep going. Go ahead and get all the way through and check those 3 chests in the back. Maybe just go ahead and save and quit and go back to Sanctuary and just drop down the actual tomb. Both of those are really pretty much the same amount of time. So, and Willard's actually going to be going into Eastern Palace without the bow, but the good news about that is you're not really required to have the bow and Randomizer. So you can actually get back to the back boss without, ouch. Andy takes a fall.
Yeah, that room looked disgusting. I wasn't sure if or how it was gonna happen, but nope, not that time. Andy's gonna give it another go.
Yeah, so the bow is going to be required. Almost, well, I can't say assuredly, unless Pod is a pen. Well, it has to be. The bow is required 100%. It's all dungeons. So Pod has to have the bow. So it's not going to be possibly required for Eastern Palace. You don't have to have bow to actually beat Armos Knights. That's not a requirement. You can swing your sword. You can hit them with a boomerang if you see fit. So, Moon Pearl is in Eastern Palace. That is a find. That is really helpful. So once we find our hammer, that is full Dark World access. There's still a possibility that we find a sword upgrade or we find the cape, and then we will be getting into Dark World through Aghanim.
But here's the thing, because it's all dungeons, we will have to fight Aghanim both times, regardless.
Yeah.
So the only question is, do we have to move that up in the batting order, or do we just stick it in the back and save it for after Ganon's Tower for a pretty convenient, not just for convenience, it saves time compared to having to go back twice.
Yeah, the big thing about saving Aga 1 for later is that it helps you get back to Ganon. It's a time saver to go that far and wait that long because of where you're at and how easy it is to get right back. And ouch, getting sniped again. Just go back to Sank. Don't try to go through the back. Too many enemies.
At that point, I'm just going, yep, that's probably what Andy's about to do, which I can't blame him for doing that because that's just nasty.
I don't think he forgot that he got glove. I think his theory was, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot, and if I can make it through without having to go through glove, it's just as fast. It's a little bit of a time waste that he died, but it is what it is.
Yeah, but for Randy, that time waste really isn't that big of a deal because his routing, execution, gameplay are top tier.
Both of these. Wow. Money, money, money. That's all that is back in the back of Sanctuary. So yeah, that was was fun.
Well, back in Sanctuary was good if you're after that money, money. Yeah, yeah.
So right now we are getting the effects of Randomizer, getting through these rooms without having to use the bow and arrow. We're going to see our first boss, see if it is beatable. Pretty much, they're really... Obviously Tronics you can't beat. You can't beat Argus right now. You could beat Vitreous. That's going to be a hard fight. You can beat Moldorm, obviously. You can beat...
Cold Stare's doable, but that would be insane with just fighters having to use combos for phase 1.
Yeah.
I would not wish that on anybody.
Yeah, Cold Stare would be really, really rough. It's vanilla Armos. So, we're going to be seeing boomerang strats. Oh, man. Strap in, ladies and gentlemen.
This is actually your intended backup if you run out of arrows.
You know, I can hear
it or not.
I can hear the beat in my head. It's, you know, that 1 2 1 2.
Sounds like you can do a workout to that. 1 2 1 2 1 2.
I know Willard is probably sitting there with his controller in his hand, holding it up, just going doot 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 doot. Oh man, and 2 of them go down finally, and as they start spinning around, doing sword swings is probably going to be a little bit easier. Interesting to note about the Armos Knights, if they're getting set up for their original movements, you can stop them from moving by keeping one of them off and not settling. That's why they weren't spinning before. The problem is, once they start moving, they're predictable, but it's annoying to hit them with a boomerang and try to dodge sometimes, because they take up the whole room. So, no bow Armos Knights is definitely one of the more interesting fights and annoying fights. Oh man.
Yeah, basically how I felt as a kid when I ran out of arrow.
I'm telling you, the Armos are also going along with the beat too, man, jumping up and down perfectly, and just like, yeah, you know that real music. It's like doing the frogs in Ocarina of Time.
Or as Darunia would say in that game, what a hot beat!
Andy coming through getting the items that Willard's already gotten, but Willard needs to make it to escape to get that bow. Andy's going to have much easier of a time against these Armos Knights. Because right now, Willard's probably thinking to himself, man, if the bow is somewhere easy, I am so going to be mad.
Yeah, we'll just wait for the reaction for that.
So Willard got his first boss kill about 18 and a half minutes in. So that's boss 1 out of all. And where does Willard go next? Because you're kind of running out of options here. Places that we haven't checked at from both of our runners is Agina's Cave and Desert Palace. Now, we do have the ability to get up to actually get up to the Death Mountain. Good lord, names, hard, thinking, bad. And yes, Boomerang and Sword are the same damage on Armos Knights, no matter what level sword you have. So you're basically just as good doing sword slashes, sword beams. It's all the same damage. Armos Knight only takes extra damage from arrows. So Willard is doing the Uncle right now. Hopefully he decides to go right into Escape. I wouldn't see why not.
Yeah, with this routing, it would make sense. And Andy, well, it It's a bit of a gamble to use Bombos when you don't know what boss you're going to fight. We know he's fine, but he did so to clear a rather annoying enemy setup, which I cannot blame him for whatsoever. Speaking of annoying,
Yeah.
those dead rocks.
I think he knew that he would have enough of a buffer once he picked up that small mana pot. He's going to have enough to do Bombos if it is Cold Stare. Honestly, I would not see him doing Cold Stare if it was here. That right there would be rather annoying. You kind of want a little bit more of a I don't know, an easier time of that. Like doing Armos. Willard probably like, well, if I'd have just gone here first, I wouldn't have spent 20 hours on Armos Knights.
This particular setup can be annoying because those dark shadows are only on screen for a certain amount of time, and they tend to come at you from some pretty unexpected angles, so you gotta be careful. Anyway, here's Andy, taking care of the Armos Knights just like any.
Yep. Super quick, super fast. The quick kill Armos Knights without silvers. Yeah, that's a really good strat to learn if you're just getting into Link to the Past Randomizer or even NMG. That's a very, very good strat to learn. Yeah, and in all honesty, with these two runners, Andy and WJB, they are not going to have rage reactions. They're not going to really have that noticeable spot on screen where they lay a bomb and things like that. That's mainly because they they know who they're going against. They know that either one at any time can take a lead and win. So it's that's the way it works. So Willard got his glove. Willard's going to be, oddly enough, going to Andy's house. I forgot he named his vial Andy.
Also, it is worth noting that with the Wizrobes in the overworld, our runners really have to be careful until they can get to at least 5 hearts, because the Wizrobe beams will do the same amount of damage that they do in Zelda 1. As we see, 1 can be put off till later, and that level of damage, 4 hearts. That's enough to kill.
So, Aga 1 does not have a required item at the moment, but we still have not found our full Dark World access. We need a hammer or another glove upgrade. So, I mean, I honestly think, I like to read the seed. We got a book super early on the race game. I think it's going to be over there in Desert Palace area. Agina, it's over there. And as a matter of fact, we've got more divergence. Willard is going to Desert. And we have Andy checking the... Oh no! Ooh, I frame saved the day, but he's not out of the water yet. Okay. Oh, jazz hands!
Oh, jeez!
Oh, man. And piece
oh,
of heart.
my Lanta, he barely got there. When I say barely, I mean barely. He's taking the health refill. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Also, it's worth noting that despite the early book, a bug has been found in this version of the logic to where you will not see progression on either the Bombos or Ether tablet.
You won't see progression on either one?
Nope. That is an actual bug that was found, but within our community, that picked up that, nope, we're not getting any progression out of there for now.
Oh. Wow,
I'm
so...
speculating that when they release the next version, that'll be something that gets repaired, and that'll probably be after the tournament.
It's in Desert. Progression's in Desert.
Yep. And the hit tablet was the secret pickup that you would see in the first Zelda game. It's not there, so it's definitely inside on the ledge, so it's definitely inside Desert itself. This gives Willard a slight bit of an edge, but remember, it's early, folks. A lot can happen.
So what's the progression going to be? Is it going to be our Dark World access, or is it going to be something like Mirror to get them up to Hera? Is it going to be a cape or a sword upgrade to make you go to Aga 1 right now? Possibilities are endless.
Or are we going to get the boots and clear this dungeon out right now?
Well, the dungeon's going to be clearable. The dungeon's going to be clearable because progression's here. So this is going to be probably a small key or a big key. Or boots to get said small key or big key. Alright. Small key, heading to the right.
It's a good point made in chat. Swordless isn't affected by said bug because to pull tablets, you actually don't need a sword.
So is the bug because of expert? Is that what the bug is?
No, it tends to affect the other modes too. So this next chest is either going to be our progression or the big key.
Yeah, I wasn't actually aware of that. That's an interesting bug. Big key, so the search continues for the progression item.
And if it's not progression, then we know we have to take the green pendant to Sahasrama.
Either way, this dungeon leads to progression. There is no possible way it doesn't. There's no other way. Unless I'm missing something, there's nowhere else that these runners have not checked. Zora actually is correct. Zora is available.
Oh my, we have to come back with the boots because that's the key to Samaria. And Willard is having no further part of the dungeon. I don't blame him.
Willard didn't check
just
the
nasty
chest.
Here's the thing. That was our second item. So the only other thing it can be is green pendant turn-in, or as Scott pointed out, King Zora. He's heading to Death Mountain. Oh, Willard, you're gonna be disappointed by this one, dude.
That's nuts. So Zora has to have progression at this point, or the green pendant, because there's no guarantee they can't get kill the boss. They can get back there.
I wonder if Willard's heading up to Hera thinking that hint means he can get to Hera now because there's something on Death Mountain. Unfortunately, we know that that's not possible. Zandy is having to take 12 fighting sword swings to take out this hard hat beetle. It's the red one.
Alright, Willard, there you go. Willard also doing some iframe strats there. Very well done. No, Zora will not be out of logic due to flippers. Zora's ledge will. Zora you can get to without flippers because in the vanilla game, that he's the one that gives you the flippers. So
Yes.
Andy's gonna actually go try to kill the boss. I like this. I actually like this play because you can get there. You can check this and know if you can beat it right now. So I did miscount. I didn't realize that the second item was there. So the green pendant's going to lead to an item as well. So it's either Zora or green pendant. And if we can't beat the boss here, it's Zora. Now you can sequence break over there and check the 2 items in Waterfall Cave, but those are not in logic right now.
I like this move by Andy. Use bombos to clear the room, because you've got some nasty stuff that's tough to kill with a fighter sword.
So that is the knowledge for Willard. I think he knows. I gotta get to Zora. I gotta go pay my dues, pay my debts.
And it's a mighty debt too. Oh no, I might be jumping the gun here, but I think he's doing a fake flipper. I almost said he's going back to desert, which would have made no sense.
I would fake flipper. Fake flipper makes sense because you're going to check 2 more locations and actually get the waterfall cave. So the waterfall cave is going to be very useful, and this is doable. You can break this with bombs. The game might be requiring you to actually break Elmasaur's helmet with bombs to get progression.
That's just evil. And Andy throws the bomb the wrong way. Ooh.
If he runs out of bombs. So this is actually... Oh no. He's got 2 more. And I think he only needs 1 more hit with a bomb?
I think he needs both.
Oh,
yep,
he does.
He needs both.
Oh, he's got to be spot on with this. Come on, Andy.
You got it.
Got it. Good job. And now
little kid got.
Spam the bow. Got it. So the fire that Helmasaur spits out will always go in a clockwise motion. So it'll start in the bottom, left, top, or right, and then go on a clockwise motion. But we have the green pendant now. That is our second dungeon completed. We're going to see what Sahasrahla has, and Willard is going to be checking Zora, so we're going to be getting probably simultaneous checks. But very well done by Andy, down to the last bomb, taking out Helmasaur King, showing the alternate strat that most people don't realize is a thing.
Well, interesting you mention that, because that strat used was actually highlighted in Nintendo Power magazine back in the day.
That's crazy. That's awesome to hear, because it's actually, if perfectly done, a little bit faster. It's not much faster, so it's not worth doing because you've got to be perfect on it. But the hammer is actually way faster, and the fact that you're guaranteed a hit almost every time. And Willard's deciding to skip the sequence break because obviously it's a little bit difficult. 5 rupees is on the ledge, and coming up almost simultaneously, we're gonna have checks on Zora and our good friend Sahasrahla.
This lag, though.
What are you doing, Willard? You don't have flippers.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Oh, the glove!
That fight was required!
Unless the hammer is here on Zora. Oh no. This is nuts. What do you got, Zora?
Making something good! Oh, you scam artist! Helmasaur King was required to be beaten with bombs! And he just reset the console, I don't blame him.
Willard just stopped and that Homer sprite staring at that 20 rupees like, no. Oh man, that is crazy. What an Randomizer. What is he thinking he's forgotten? Oh no. Is he thinking he miscounted or misjudged what was in Dark Cross? Because it's only the key.
Possibly.
He might be just walking. He might just be walking in, realizing he hasn't used the key. He's gonna walk in. Yeah, he realizes it. He's trying to think where to go. Willard, you have the lamp.
Now, just to interject for 1 second here, I did not know you could pull that painting in that one particular house to get a tree pull.
In
That's
vanilla,
something I'm gonna have to remember.
In vanilla, that is actually a 420 rupee pull. So we've got red crystals in Mire and Turtle Rock, it looked like.
No, that's red pendant in Mire with the red crystal in Turtle Rock. However, with Swamp being a crystal, we'll get that mirror soon enough.
Okay, so that was Skullwoods, that was the other pendant. Yeah, I missed what the other red crystal was. I did not see that. Yeah, this seed is something else, and unfortunately, that is a critical moment for Willard, with the fact that he's got to go through there and kill that. It's a tough fight. I know Willard can do it, but if you miss by just a little bit and you run out of bombs, you have to save and quit or get out of there. So you don't have very much of a leeway there.
Yeah, the leeway here is 5, based off his bomb count, because he has 5 bombs margin of error. As long as he stays within that, he'll be fine.
Yeah, the thing about that Andy showing off the knowledge of how the damage works, walking upstairs and things like that. That was very well done. Very well done. It never ceases to amaze me and impress me. So we found the small key. That means it's not a 1-for-1 key logic right now in Thieves Town. We have the ability to go all the way back, but we still don't have a hammer. So that big chest is probably going to be alienated. But Andy's taken the position of, let's go somewhere else. We have other fish to fry.
Yeah, and you don't have to do the full maiden rescue to fight the boss. So, yeah, that is the thing. And speaking of things, that's a hook shot.
I mean, this race has barely started. We're only 35 minutes in, and it's already a tough race. It's not over. It's not over by any means, because we are still missing quite a few major progression items. You will need hookshot. You will need access to Mire and Turtle Rock. You're going to need hammer. You're going to need flute. We know where flute's at, so we need to find flippers. There's so much we're missing, and we're going to need boots because we need Cane of Sumaria. So there's a lot of stuff that needs to still be found. Now, Andy is getting checks ahead of time, but we've seen a lot of divergence from these runners. So Willard so far getting a good first bomb hit. Second bomb hit is good. Let's see if Willard goes 5 for 5.
It's going to be on point. Is he going to get the 4 for 4?
Oh, taking that hit. Got 4. Is he going to get 5? He's not. That's not going to hit. So he's got 4 more shots to hit it one more time. He can't take another hit. He's got to be careful.
Yeah, he really does, because everything in this fight does 2 hearts of damage, so he's already on death's doorstep. I like the pause buffer strat.
That's very useful in Link to the Past, in all honesty. Once the mask is broken, not only does Helmasaur start moving faster, but he will move and use his tail, as well as do fireballs and use his tail. Very well done by Willard, using pause buffer strats there to survive. He now realizes that the green pin is his progression. We have found hookshot. So I missed where that was. I think that was actually Dig Game.
No, it was the Bomb Hut. Dig Game was 5 rupees.
Bomb Hut was that? Okay.
We have silvers, but they cannot use them until the Ganon fight hard mode up.
Yeah, so this is Expert, all dungeons, randomized swords, Randomizer. So you're going to see random bosses in every boss room. You're going to see only 2 swords, even though 4 are out there, only 2 can be collected. We found the almighty bug net. Now, the question is, where does Willard decide to go first? We haven't seen Hype Cave yet. Ice Rod. That is a good find.
Absolutely, especially in Randomizer, because you never know where you can run into a Trinex.
Yeah, the Ice Rod is very nice to find because of it doesn't help much on the surface of things, but if you have to find it for Trinex in a random spot, it's just like, great, now I gotta go find this item that could be behind the Turtle Rock boss. It could be all the way somewhere I'm not sure where to go. Randomizer puts the Ice Rod in some of the worst places.
Oh, absolutely. Chat does bring up a good point that due to this being expert mode, that bug net's only going to be good at swatting Aghanim's shots. Can't catch fairies with it, but if the runners find a fairy in a bottle, it's still as good as any other.
Yes, I was being mildly sarcastic when I said the almighty. Bugnet has very little use in the expert mode. However, you cannot use the silver. Yeah. So once again, this is expert mode. Hard mode and up, anything that is higher than the normal difficulty, hard mode and up, is only regular arrow shots. You are not able to use the silvers until Ganon. They are turned off, no function until Ganon. And I do want to take this moment to give a quick shout out. Relkin is doing our tracking today, making sure that you know what's going on screen, and also keeping us in check because, frankly, we just look at the screen and say things. But they're doing an amazing job. I want to give a shout out also to these runners, Andy and WillardJBradley, some of our favorite people in the Link to the Past community, and Speed Gaming also doing a fantastic job hosting this and throwing this tournament. So, and also Leslie Pro 4, my co-com, doing a fantastic job helping me out here today. Definitely go out and give them a follow as well.
So the strategy Willard used is that the vanilla game... Wait a minute, that guard did not fall down the hole?
Because those guards actually don't fall down holes. They don't have a script to fall down holes. It is the strangest thing.
That is very strange, because in Ganon... Oh wait, those are the ones that never earn palaces. That's why. Okay. I'm pretty sure that guard just pulled an Andy on Andy.
Yeah, right. The hovering guard on Andy is, I don't know, it's like karmic payback. Poor Andy. Alright, so we are getting the Skullwoods checks. I like this check, even though we don't have the fire rod. I like the fact that Willard's checking Skullwoods. It's a very quick check, sometimes hard. Flippers.
Flippers.
Red potion, that's a good find. So
yeah,
that's
one heart though.
That's all 4 bottles. We have found all 4 bottles in this mode. Wow. So yeah, that's fun. I don't think we're gonna have a problem with health or magic. Buying all of those is going to be really nice. Wow. I believe we are getting
opted for the elevator to get out of Skullwoods, by the way.
Oh yeah, I mean that's one of the fastest. So I mean, unless the enemies are strong there, then you could just walk into them and die. So, Ice Palace is accessible now. Ice Palace is on the table. What is on Bumper Ledge? 5 rupees. So nothing on Bumper Ledge. We wouldn't have been able to get that anyway. Andy is deciding to come up and do the Skullwoods checks that Willard has already done to no avail. Let's see. Willard's going to be doing the checks that pretty much Andy has done. We're kind of covering each other's ground right now. The big spot that's opened up is, in fact, Ice Palace. We can do Bombos strats to get through there.
But we need the hammer to be able to beat the dungeon.
That is very true.
It would be very dirty if the hammer happened to be there. Emphasis on very, because
yeah. So the thing about that is, like, that's a really dirty spot. I almost think it's dirtier to be in the top of Thieves Town. Like, if you decide to go through Thieves Town and only check the first 4 like Andy did, and it's in the top of Thieves Town because you backed out, because you didn't want to have to do the back chest. Now, granted, that was a very calculated move because he found the small key. He only found maybe 1 item in the front, and there was nothing else. It makes sense to not go further because what are the chances that the hammer is going to be there? It's not going to be in the big chest, but an item is probably going to be there in the big chest. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Willard do the same thing. But the funny thing about Thieves Town is you don't have to go save the maiden. You can walk straight up to the boss. So I think Andy actually forgot that and didn't think about that, because going to the boss is actually somewhat of a decent play. Because if you can go ahead and clear that, come back later and get the items if you need to once you have the hammer. The boss could have the hammer. Yeah, flippers were actually in Hookshot Cave.
As Andy takes an apparent death warp, I believe it was, anyway. Willard opted to take the elevator out.
question in chat, if boss is blind, you need the maiden, right? No. The bosses are randomized and they are just automatically there. So if the boss is in fact blind, it will just start out like you have died and came back. So that is the case with any location.
The only downside to that, really, is that you don't get blind spawn from the start of the fight, which is a bit of a letdown, but especially for those of us that actually get a good chuckle out of those lines. But still, we shall.
You know, some of the more notable bosses to pop up in bad locations, like one of the most notable locations to get wrecked by is the Skullwoods boss location.
Gosh, yes.
Yeah.
I had a tough time with an Argus in there once.
Argus in there is rough. Honestly, Blind there is rough. Blind is awful there because they start out at the top and you can't get to them with the sword. You have to have something to actually be able to get to them otherwise. So it's a rough thing to have to get through. I wonder if gonna go straight into the boss. It is Mothula, an easy fight today. Mothula is a joke here because it only fires down. It does not fire left or right or up, and there are no spikes, so you don't have to worry about any kind of other than walking into the boss. You do have to do a little bit more damage with only fighter sword, but boom, there you go. Super easy, yeah. Piece of heart.
Yeah, that's definitely a much more manageable fight outside the vanilla room. Anything in that particular room is going to be in Skullwoods is going to be a rough fight. Although, to be fair, the Armos Knight fight in there is kind of comical.
Betaflex, it is Chaos Boss, so we can see any combination of bosses. Now, it looks like our tracker did get confirmation. Words are hard. Tower of Hera is the other pendant that is, crystal that is red. So Hera and Turok are required for our Pyramid Fairy. Maldorm and Mothulurm is actually super easy. It gets caught in a corner most of the time.
Well, it's going digging for cash.
So Willard's probably going to be heading up to Dark Death Mountain here shortly to be able to get the hookshot cave checks and things like that, because he does have his hookshot. We're getting the world tour from Mr. Frogman and getting our first hype cave check. So
the question is, will it be a hype cave, or will it just continue to be the artist formerly known as?
Right now, we're looking at it being a hype cave because progression at the moment is kind of limited, even though, I mean, Pod is open. We do need Hammer.
Well, there's Master Sword, so that does put some hype in Hype Cave, because you actually need that to beat the game.
Yeah, I would rate that about a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, especially considering what we're dealing with.
Yeah, that's a solid 4 to 5, because that Master Sword is huge. That Master Sword is really nice. So, the Master Sword is literally the max you can get. Finding that right now is actually really nice. That makes a lot of things easier. That Fighter Sword just doesn't do any damage. And Willard's showing us that knowledge of where pools are without killing Aghanim. That's an inverted trick right there. You actually can get a tree pool right there from that statue before killing Aghanim. It's almost like the developers of the game thought about that. I don't know. It's strange to think that it's...
Yeah, the devs definitely hid some cleverly kept hidden secrets over the years.
Aga is in logic. With Master Sword, Aga's in logic. You don't need Cape for Aga. The tablet bug also affects AGA logic. Okay, this bug is really new to me, so forgive me about my knowledge on that. I don't mean to correct people who know more about this bug than I do. So normal means the logic will allow you to get into AGA with that sword, but as of right now, with the bug in the logic, it is not in logic according to chat, and I trust chat. So flippers were in Hookshot Cave. Now, if Willard would have gotten his fake flipper off to check the waterfall cave, it makes me wonder, what we would have gotten, what we would have seen. Would it have been getting progression way early?
Have to interject here because mentioned in chat, if I just pin the message here. So the actual bug is that swords after the first aren't being recognized as progression, which is why, as it stands, the tablets don't hold progression, and why AGA, for now, requires a cape. It's weird, but like I said, hopefully something they'll fix in the next version of the logic.
I can imagine that's something that may be hotfixed pretty quick. So, yeah, we are now at the point where Andy's going to find his life lesson, and Willard is coming up and checking the Death Mountain checks that Andy's already done. It's looking like Pod or the rest of Chest and Thieves Town, possibly an Ice Palace dip without... without Hammer is a possibility. That's this is turning into a very interesting run, man.
And unfortunately for Andy, he's about to get stabbed.
Deciding not to reset, deciding that his money is just fine. He doesn't mind paying his taxes today. So, yeah, and I do remember VTorp saying something about that. The changes to V30 are not going to be made until tournament is over, so that way nothing major has changed. Everything is going to stay the same. So Swamp is definitely not open. We do need Mirror. So we're looking at a dungeon dip without being able to complete said dungeon all the way through. Now, it's possible that it's just I don't know if they got both items in Thieves Town. Both dungeon items in Thieves Town. Did they get the compass and the map? I don't think they did. They found one item in the front.
Yeah, so there's still that chance that that one last dungeon item is sealed away. Which, for our runner's sake, that's exactly what they would want to see.
So I think what Andy's about to do is probably go over to Catfish. He's coming from the north of Dark World. This is a good play. Coming from the north of Dark World and jumping over and getting to the little on-ramp over there by Dark... I just call it the Dark Witch House. But checking Catfish, coming down, checking Pyramid Ledge, and then heading towards Pod. It's a very good routing choice. And we are at 5 hearts now, which is very fortunate in Expert. Usually you don't see so many hearts front-loaded. We have already seen Hookshot Cave from Andy, and that has the flippers. So we'll be seeing Hookshot Cave soon from Willard. And there's the Lionel we've been looking for all this time. And Andy's just like, nah, man, I'm good. See you later.
Yep, Andy just skillfully dodges it. Currently, the only way a runner can damage Lionels would be Master Sword spins. The hammer also does damage. That's it.
And life lesson from our good friend the Catfish. So none of the Grumpy Fish today have any progression. I mean, in expert mode, finding this many hearts, they had almost 5 hearts at about 30 minutes in. That's front loaded. That's front loaded. oftentimes in expert seeds, you're still at 3 hearts right now. Because we do not have the mirror. In order to get the flute, we would need the mirror, which is probably going to be our progression item. That or hammer. Hammer is the biggest find we need right now. Mirror is also good, but
that bomb actually has a falling animation from the Enochs, just like some of the guards in Vanilla Hyrule Castle. It's kind of common.
And our ledge item is the hammer is on the pyramid. Sitting pretty right there. So Flippers or Aga was our access. Well, Aga wasn't because of the bug. Flippers was the access to our hammer. That's crazy. Now Pod is fully open, so that routing choice was really, really sick. Now, unfortunately, Willard's going to have to double... Oh, no, never mind. I was like, what is he doing? I thought he already had gotten that. No, he's heading to Waterfall Cave. So... That hammer opens up a lot, man. That's Ice Palace. That is also our access to Pod, where we're headed now. That is also you're able to open Turtle Rock and get over to the portal to Turtle Rock. We do have the access to it to open it, but unfortunately do not have the cane. We need the boots for cane, which is on the Desert Torch.
So by that logic, Desert Palace is a mandatory hard double dip.
And Willard's going right into Ice Palace. Will he find something worthwhile in here making this dip nice? Just walk away. It's telling you the truth, Willard. Believe the hint.
In this case, the dev hint is on point.
Believe the hint, Willard. It's not a lie. The cake is not a lie. Oh, that's funny.
See all these pen gators make me wish our runners had the Quake medallion to finish them off with, but they can also use hookshot to that manner as well. While boomerang and hookshot will not stun, they will damage whatever they can damage.
What was that hint about Big Chest and Swamp?
Just arrows, so that location is out. Unless they're out of arrows. And that's Cane of Burna.
That's useless.
Not necessarily. There are 2 rooms in the game where logic dictates you need either the cape or Cane of Burna, so that covers that.
Spike Cave and, of course, the laser bridge. Infamous laser bridge.
There's also a room in Misery Mire, the spiked chest, that dictates that you need that too.
I believe in V30 logic, they believe that to just be gettable, because it doesn't take, like the spikes walking over in Ice Palace. That's changed like 2 or 3 times in recent logics. That's why I'm curious about that. I'm not sure. There's a lot of little logic things that have happened on and off. The health logic for some spike areas, like I know that chest is a little bit different because of having to actually check the chest, so it takes a little bit more hearts. But they used to make it to where the Cane of Burna or Cape was required in Ice Palace, but then they changed that and they flipped back and forth a few times on that.
Willard didn't have to do anything of the sort for Ice Palace bomb jump. Got that first try.
Oh yeah, at this level, not surprised at all. So we are, right now, Willard is in Ice Palace, which we know is not going to have the hammer. Andy got the hammer from the Pyramid Ledge. Now, Willard is about to be significantly stopped. That's an evil place for that big spike ball.
Rude!
So I'm hoping that this does pay off for Willard, that he gets something. Obviously, he won't be able to finish this dungeon, but I'm hoping the dip gives him a little bit of like, hey man, you did something, here you go. And gonna get this bomb jump here pretty much first try. He was thinking about where he wanted to go. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it looks like he's heading down, around, and up now. This is where Ice Palace Bomb Jump actually loses time, because one, it's Randomizer, you could get hacked by something nasty, and Harmless Hellway is anything but harmless. The other thing is, you don't have to go down and around.
Tell you what though, that fall down room in Ice Palace is not nice. That was clinching. That was scary.
Yep.
Andy decided to go ahead and get the money in this room. So there's an interesting little vanilla glitch in this room. If you don't collect all the rupees and you leave the room and come back down, every rupee will despawn and never come back. However, if you collect every rupee and come out and come back in, that Lionel does not want him to leave. That Lionel's like, I am your guardian. You cannot leave. But
and Andy just pulled a Triple H circa mid-2000s and brought the hammer down on.
Man, I tell you what, Ice Palace is not Ice Palace anymore. It is BMOS Palace. Everywhere you turn, there's spike balls and BMOS. You don't really have much option of how to dodge them, and those pin gators do not tickle. They hurt. Ooh. Oh no. He dodged.
Very smart dodging with the hook shot, and we got ourselves a fetch quest.
Just walk away. It's telling you what to do. Leave.
And that's a death work bomb.
I am literally enamored by the fact that he keeps getting the same hint, just walk away.
Should've listened. But that's hindsight being 2020. On the plus side, he'll have less to do in there next time he has to go back there, and maybe he won't have to go back there until go mode.
It's like the first bosses in so many games that it's like, no, don't fight me. You don't want to fight me. I swear, this is a bad idea. And then finally, you get there and fight the boss anyway.
I think Willard's taking Aga out now, which would put him on the right path.
It's not a bad move. If anything, it's actually somewhat of a time save. Because he has to do this anyway. It's going to give him a portal, but it's also going to lead him right to the hammer. But the thing is, technically this isn't in logic right now. Not that that matters, obviously. So,
This also gives us a preview of the enemies we will be seeing when Andy does this.
a lot of the things that we're seeing here is like Andy has found all the right spots, and neither runner has had bad routing. Neither one. Both of their routings. This room is not nice. I'm not a fan of this room. That caught my attention, and I'm just like, wow, that is a lot of evil things. So, but
In the Red Igor, would you need the bow to be?
But the interesting thing is that with the way Willard has routed, he has basically made up time in the way he's routed, where Andy is just covering so much ground so quickly. Both runners are doing a fantastic job. And Andy is fighting to stay alive because, as you can see on the screen, Andy is 2-0 right now in the semifinal match. The winner of these rounds will go to face the lane in the championship. Andy wins today, it will be Andy versus the lane. Willard wins, we will see a game 4. So, and Willard's hint is some cash is in Mimic Cave. That's actually really useful. We are not going to see a Mimic Cave check from Willard. And Vanilla Boss on Andy's side, making short work of our good friend Helmasaur, getting himself another boss kill. 4 on the day for Andy.
So now the real question is for Willard, how many blue balls? I'm gonna just say 0 because seriously, it's either gonna be one of two ways, 0 or 15. I really don't want to see anything in between, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, finishing my thought on the Pod Rupee room. Sorry, I actually got distracted there by something happening on screen. If you finish all the rupees in that room, you actually will despawn the rupees and they will never come back. But if you actually get all the rupees and then come back and leave and go all the way out of the dungeon and come back, they will respawn. So with that room in particular, it's almost like a refillable Houlihan room. The thing about that is, though, it takes quite a bit to get back there.
Well, rip my wishes, but yeah, you can definitely use the mirror to get out of Pod faster. You just don't have any way of getting in there quicker, like Borrower's Wind isn't a thing in this game. It's only an Ocarina of Time, so you can't do that. Although that would be cool. Especially for a dungeon double dip. Nudge, nudge.
Yeah, the Desert Thief Farm, Thief Farm, good lord, our words today. It is definitely faster to do that walking in and out and just collecting those few rupees there if you have to do that rupee farm. But that room is not the only room that's exclusive to. That's also the room that is in Misery Mire, the rupee room in Misery Mire, as well as the rupee room in Eastern Palace. All of them are that way. That if you go in, collect a few rupees, not all of them, and leave the room and come back in, it will despawn and never come back. However, if you collect all of them, leave the dungeon and come back, it actually brings them back. It's a very just weird bug. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a vanilla game deal, so yeah, it's what it is. And also, Andy doing the wise thing and clearing out a nasty room that was about to get him with Bomba. But here's the thing, Andy's got Hammer going into Ice Palace, whereas Willard did not have that item when he went there first time. We're gonna see this full dungeon, and we'll know if Willard has to come back here sooner rather than later.
I mean, here's the funny thing. We're gonna get some information from Andy here. What if this boss isn't beatable? Now, granted, we really don't have very many other places to go right now. Where else is there that we can go that's available to us? The top of Thieves Town.
That's basically all I can think of at this point. Stop Thieves Town, that's it.
Hera. Chat, yeah, chat's on the same way. Hera's open. So.
And we did see a hint that said a unique item was there.
Yes, so Hera is a big play. Hera might be the progression that we need because you can get all the way around and do that. And with that bug that we know, unfortunately, it's not another item location over there. It's just useless stuff on the actual tablets. So
the only thing that could be remotely useful would be a piece of heart, which can still be there, or even the one heart container.
So another spot that they can do that is a little bit of a pain in the butt, but it's Purple Chest. Purple Chest could also hold something for us. We haven't seen the Purple Chest yet.
They also have a means of getting through Spike Cave, which is possible, however, not something I would recommend trying unless you're fully prepared and Andy takes.
They do have the green potion that they were already equipped with, so they can also do bat. I saw that in chat just right now. They can do the bat because they have hammer. So magic bat is also on the table. So a lot of one-of locations just really, you know, you're stuck going into these little itty-bitty locations. And Andy, doing a little bit of a pause buffering there, deciding to go down and grab these fairies to gain health back. Not a bad move. Put you back right.
The arena's filled with all sorts of nasties, fire snakes, and a fire bar. Yikes!
Andy has not turned in mushroom yet. We have not seen that check either. I mean, I feel like the next progression item that we're going to be getting is, I mean, it's a toss-up between Boots and Mirror. Mirror is unlocking Flute, which is unlocking getting to more locations, which could lead us to Boots. But Boots is a big progression item because that opens up Turtle Rock fully to us, and that's a lot of item locations, so...
Here's the thing, when we do get to Turtle Rock, we will know that on Willard's side, he knows he doesn't have to go there to Mimic Cave.
Yeah.
Andy thinks that, so Andy could drop in there unless Andy decides to roll the Gamble-matic 9000 and decide there's nothing there, which would be the correct gamble. He doesn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big gamble if you're not in go mode. It's a huge gamble. It's not really worth that. I feel like we'll end up seeing Andy doing Mimic Cave. It's not that big of a time loss, though. It could be a tough room, because in Randomizer, that's always a possibility. You could end up with all Lionels and just sitting there staring at it like, wow, this is not fun. Oh, no. Oh! Willard.
I think that one I'm going to call Commentator's Curse from over an hour ago.
Getting sniped by that Lionel, that's unfortunate. I think...
about it being a Zelda randomizer, not being a Zelda randomizer without a Lionel death, that just happened, and there's our one shield.
Babby's first shield. Now, you know, I think the theme of this seed is just walk away. I think that's the theme of this seed right now.
Yep. Unfortunately, Andy can't hook shot to that chest because that bomb slug dropped a bomb right on it. Must have been channeling its inner F cough.
Good old Fred. Fred Coughlin, validate.
Willard's going the other way, and quite frankly, I can't blame him. And I don't blame him whatsoever.
Alright. We've got the big chest. Just the bloomerang.
AKA Lord Banana.
In Vitorp's own words, the better boomerang.
Yeah, basically, same idea, different name. And he's going for full health and some extra magic in case this is a cold stare.
This room can also be pretty trolly if you're not careful. You can get stuck with some pretty rough bosses on here in Randomizer. Honestly, Elmasaur is a really rough one in this because of the way you actually move using the hammer. You actually go forward instead of backwards using the hammer on the ice. And Moldworm is a little bit rough on this too. You don't have the ability to dodge as well. Never mind, it's not ice down here. Excuse me. I'm thinking of a different spot.
Yeah, you're thinking of the Ice Armos room, although these could very easily be Ice Armos with them being in the basement of Ice Palace. And nothing much that Willard missed out on in Ice Palace. He could easily come back here in go mode and have no problem whatsoever.
So the dip for Willard was not as nearly as bad as it could have been. That does put a significant lead on dungeons for Andy now completing Ice Palace. So that's 5-3 at the moment. But Willard is in pod, so it's coming down to a lot of these one-of checks. You got the chest, the purple chest. You've got the Spike Cave. You've got, oh man, Top of Thieves Town. Just so many like little checks that you can do right now. And Hera is a unique item, which I'm surprised Andy hasn't gone that route. We're checking Magic Bat right now.
Also, to correct one thing, it's actually 5-4 because Willard has gone through Castle Tower, whereas Andy's probably not going to do that until after defeating Aga 2.
Good call. I completely forgot about Aga 1. So yeah, it's 5-4. And Aga Tower is a little bit of a time sink, but the way that it's usually done in these all dungeons modes is doing it at the end. So Andy's going to be saving at the end and not really getting much of a time loss there. But what do we got at the Magic Bat? Curse us. What?
Or bless us with a fire rod. Now that means we're set for Trinex. And I will call this a boss go mode because now you don't have to worry about any bosses stopping you from completing a dungeon. Plus, Back to Skull Woods is perfectly open for business.
Wow. That's nuts. Fire Rod right there. So many other locations available and going right to it. So we are heading on up to Skullwood's. Going to go ahead and clear that out and knock out that boss and see what is going to be in that room. And that's going to be a pain. So hopefully it's an easy boss.
Mm-hmm.
For all we know, it could be vanilla. We've had a couple of vanilla. So
I wouldn't mind seeing Landmillas in there personally. Actually, due to that room's size, the bosses that can appear there are actually restricted to a select few. Like that room, you will not see a Trinex in because that room's just too small.
there was a point that Trinex used to be in there. I personally had that whenever it used to be the Randomizer on the program. That was never fun. It was such a hard boss to do. It never gave you ice on the floor, but it was such a hard spot. Oh yeah. Oh man, that room is...
Speaking of hard, just getting to the big key, that just looks disgusting. But it's an easy death warp between the fire bars and the crystal roll.
I mean, Boots could very easily be here. That's an interesting little predicament there, having to get through there, using the hook shot expertly, though. So Willard is up on Death Mountain. What is he thinking right now? He's going to Hera! So we're going to get our Hera check right now, and see what the unique item is there. That very well could be the Boots, which, I mean, that would be our opening to the Cane. So Boots could make up a significant amount of time if Andy waits to go to Hera until later, thinking, you know, I'll just clear out these other dungeons. Now, he's going to be kind of pigeonholed to have to go up to Hera anyway. After this, I don't think he can really do much else. He needs the mirror, and he needs the cane. So yeah, it's gonna be Hera for Andy after this.
Depends on what else is here, if anything.
I'm almost certain Boots are going to be in here, or possibly in one of the other like single locations. But there's a unique item in here. It's not flute and it's not mirror. Or well, it could be mirror. Excuse me, it could be mirror. It's not flute and it's not Cane of Samaria.
I see what you mean by Moldorm getting stuck in here. And look at all those eyes. Holy smokes. Now we know that Misery Mire is a complete bust. Because it's just bombs and cash, all fire locked. We know the big key is on the right side. So basically, Willard just, as soon as he can get in, just go in, get the big key, get the boss, and leave. It's like basically a go mode dungeon. Ooh, and he does not get the iframe skip. That could be trouble, especially with how random these blocks are now. It can be a number of random patterns too.
Oh man, the block he was going to choose anyway was actually going to be taken away. The funny thing is about the random blocks that the room does in here, they will lift up off one of these pegs. I didn't know what to call them, so one of the pegs will actually lift up. Is this supposed to be a Metroid?
That would be my best guess on that, if I were to be honest. I mean, I could. That sort of does look like a Metroid as you think about it. Oh, and that's a nasty big chest location too that Amy's dealing with. It's just arrows. Yeah.
All right, and I do want to give a shout out there to Patamon, doing 18 months in a row. Thank you for supporting the speed gaming community. That is really appreciated. As well as while we're here and seeing a few things that we've already seen before, I want to give another shout out to our amazing tracker Relkin, doing a fantastic job making sure that we know what is going on and what our runners have, as well as our runners Annie and WillardJBradley doing a great job showing you your entertainment today, and my co-commentator Leslie Pro04 doing a fantastic job as well, keeping me company and making sure that we don't have silence. So,
because silence is a bad thing, because it makes people think Discord went down.
Mm-hmm. We like to hear noises and people talk. All right, so Andy is going to be doing new location while Willard's doing a new location too. I'm surprised that he's going into Thievestown.
Mirror!
Thanks, game. I'm up here where, you need a big key to be up here.
I was actually referencing one of my earlier races, folks, where Discord actually went down mid-sentence. While I was mid-sentence and Discord goes down, that was a thing. Oh, and this hellway is really bad. A chain chomp does not want to let Andy through.
That's a rough spot for a chain chomp. I saw that coming. Willard gets the kill on Mothula while the chain chomp gets the kill on Andy. That is an evil hellway. That is. Whoo.
That makes the vanilla hellway look tame in comparison.
Yeah. There is no God Pixel in that room. There is no God Pixel in that room. There is only crying and pain in that room. And Willard is going to be going down to Spike Cave. I like this check a lot. So, depending on what may be found by Andy up here in the tops of Thievestown and what is found by WillardJBradley, the funny thing is, Willard's going to probably use a... Oh, that's close. Okay. And that's our second shield that we found. There's a nifty little trick you can do in Spike Cave. The actual, what do they call it? Lamps or what have you? The torches. Thank you. My braining is not working today. So the torches, you can actually stand behind them in that one tile behind them and not take spike damage. So if you're on one heart and you're about to run out of magic and you have a green potion, instead of switching to the green potion and taking the heart of damage, you can hide behind the torch, and there you go. Spike Cave was nothing.
And the gnome is asking you to guess his name on Andy's set.
Alright, gonna be getting another Grumpy Fish check. Finding out that Grumpy Fish has nothing. But we also can full clear this now and find out if the item that we're looking for is either up here or down in the bottom, and we don't have to actually blow that hole up, so it's a lot easier to grab that.
And Willard's like, nope, no thank you, I'm good. Right, that's it, I'm out of here.
I wonder where Willard's heading next. He might just hookshot over. Because he's already cleared pod. He does have the mushroom. He's about to mirror. Or did he already turn the mushroom in?
I don't think he turned the mushroom in. You know, this is starting to look like a graveyard logically. No, he's going for the mirror using the portal. Excuse me. Oh, that's where it went. I thought he wanted to the same screen.
Is he going to finish up Ice Palace? Is that what his plan is? Oh, yeah, the flute! He's going for the flute! Okay. I completely forgot about that flute. Mirror was in Hera.
Yeah, which Willard did finish off, by the way. And with that flute, Willard's going to activate it. And I wonder if he's going to go for Myers class. Well, he knows Meyer doesn't have that. So he might be checking Myers' shed and Checkerboard Cave, hoping that there's an item there, as Andy gets derailed by the jelly. Actually, no, that's a detour. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think he ran into it and fell off to begin with, and just decided to go ahead and that was the whole point. So yeah, I think a Thief's Town came up pretty empty. Willard has done Tower of Hera, so we're at 6 and 5, right? Yeah, no, 6 and 6.
Yeah,
actually
6 and 6.
So with the Aga clear and Peg Cave check, and probably Mirror was in Tower of Hera. It was the unique item in Tower of Hera, and Andy is going to be getting pegs. Probably going to go ahead and check the oh wow, the boots are in Peg Cave.
That is a huge break. Willard's probably going to head over to Myers. Where's Willard going? Oh wait, he's about to get fire rod, excuse me. So it's not like he's totally out of the loop just yet, but we shall see.
Oh.
Interesting routing choices, to say the least.
The great thing about this is that both runners are actually routing rather well. The thing is Willard's just kind of, it's like he's missing one spot by just a little bit. It's not a poor routing choice in what he has done. The Ice Palace dip was interesting. I don't know if I would have done that without Hammer, if I would have actually resorted to that gamble. But sometimes when you're playing at this high of a level and you know that for whatever reason you may feel a runner is going to do whatever play and get past that you might take a gamble that you otherwise wouldn't. So
now we see the mushroom turn in. Now the only thing that really keeps us out of being in real no mode is what's in Misery Mire, and only Willard has access to that area.
And here's the thing, can we get to Misery Mire? Can we actually get in? Because we have Bombos, but Ether and Quake are missing. So we have one medallion. The other medallion may be required. So it's hard to say. Now, it also could be right under the mat. It could be sitting right there, waiting for you in the
speaking of being right there, Andy gets Candace and Mario. Willard's going to need that to finish Misery Mire, which, unfortunately, he's not going to find the boots here.
He knows where the cane is, so I doubt he actually dips Mire. I missed that.
Bombos it is. We are officially in no mode, folks.
Uncle Bombs. So really, it's a matter of how much debate are you gonna get. Well, okay. By the logic, technically we are not in go mode, or even no mode. We need the cape because of AGA 1.
Well, cape or Master Sword, which
bug. The bug is what, yeah, so the bug is making it to where cape is required as well. And Andy's showing off the item dash trick where if you use hook shot while you are on the stairs at the same time you're dashing in the same input, doing both dash and hook shot, you will set up what is called basically super speed, and you are able to walk basically like you're running everywhere. It is it's really useful in places like Death Mountain and just south of Kakariko. Now Willard's going to be heading into our Swamp Palace. That is full clearable for him. He has the ability to kill every boss, so.
Problem is, he might full clear, which would not be good, because we know where he has to go, and I can't blame him for thinking dungeons, because I do the same thing myself, but we know that's just not it. And that's just 5 rupees off Ether Tap.
Now, this is something that's been discussed in chat, is that the cape is actually required in the current logic because of a bug. That the cape is required because it's not considering a sword as progression. So, that's part of it. What if he gets the boots hints here? Okay, I was going to say, what if he gets the boots hint here, and it's like, hey, go to Pig Cave. Or there's a unique item in Pig Cave.
Or it could have been, go to the next room, or not, I don't care. Oh, wait, that's a dev hit. Never mind.
Grumble, grumble! Okay, so this is going to be a full clear for Willard. He's going to be checking everything because he really wants to make sure that he's not missing boots. Unfortunately, we know where the boots are at, and they're not here. So he'll full clear this doing... Well, he didn't get the hint for left side. I was going to say he might not do left side because of the hint, but that was actually Misery Mire. Mirror is here in the Hera chest right in front of the big chest. So we will be getting the mirror soon for Andy. Probably about a 1:35-ish go mode. Probably a little bit less than that. He'll probably be up there in about a minute and a half, if that.
Yeah, it'd be a no mode for Andy, because he'd know where he'd have to go for the final aim. He's taking a death ward.
But yeah, in all honesty, he probably... Well, he won't be in go mode because he has to go get his flute. So he will have to go get his flute. Go mode will be when he gets the flute. But knowledge. The knowledge of where the flute is at is basically go mode. Alright. And it's so rough because
the Fury just got away from him, just floated right over the bar. So Andy had to go chase it down. Just some bad RNG. Actually, no, this might not be a full clear for Willard. He's going straight to the back and avoiding the left side.
I can't blame him. He's only really looking for boots. Because he knows where Kane's at. So the boots is the only thing that he wants right now. So taking a gamble that the boots are not on left side, it's not bad. That's not a bad idea. That's, I mean, I agree with that play wholeheartedly.
And we got ourselves a flying bug on the top of Tower of Hera.
Alright, Andy gets his 7th boss. Yeah, you're not going to bank on it, on having to find a medallion, because you're going to basically go there and check it and make sure. You're not worried about that medallion until you have to be worried about the medallion. To Andy, he's in go mode. Well, will be in go mode once he actually mirrors over to the flute, so... I mean, part of me would probably even wait to get the flute and just do, just go ahead and do swamp while I'm over here. Yeah, I don't blame him for doing this. You don't have to have the flute right now. Oh, what is he doing? Andy?
Pick up for Willard. Andy, this is most interesting.
Why? What are you doing? Okay.
I think the real question is, where are you going, Andy?
Did he see the flute? Yo, Trinex.
Oh.
Trinex is the boss. Oh, man.
And that is a gross-looking color palette as well.
What a palette. Alright, boom. Oh, no. This is taking such a weird turn, and I don't know if ice is going to form on this room. It doesn't.
No, it can't because it's water.
I think it's...
You can't freeze no matter how cold it gets.
Oh, that is so scary. It's so scary watching him sit so close. He did see the flute. Oh no, okay, he has a green potion, good. What happened? Did you see that? His magic refill didn't go all the way up.
That's because it only goes quarter of the way in expert mode.
Really? Green potion only fills you up a quarter of the way in expert mode? I didn't know that. Oh man.
Yep.
Okay, today I learned. My bad.
And Trinex is down for WillardJBradley.
So that's 7 for WJB. And he's got his fire rod. He can go get 8. He can do Ice Palace and get 9. Really the thing he needs is the boots, so he's got to go to Peg Cave.
With where he's at now, this is really his best chance to do just that.
Oh man, so red potion only does 1 heart in expert mode. I did not know that either. If you can't tell, I don't play expert mode. I don't.
Well, neither do I, in all honesty, because yeah.
That's not something that I make common practice of. It's not exactly my thing. What is he doing? I'm not sure.
He might be going to Skull Woods, which wouldn't be bad, but it's not what he needs to do.
I'm talking about Andy. Andy's checking chests.
I wonder if he's looking for health. That is the only thing I can think of at this point. I mean, Andy has to know he's in go mode. If he's been up to Dark Death Mountain, he might... or did he not see what Turtle Rock was?
It may be the Turtle Rock thing, but I could have swore he checked that whenever he was over there doing Hookshot Cave. That's a rough... Oh man, that's a rough little room, man. Meyer is evil. Wow. Usain Bolt guards.
Well, Andy's got the means to roast him.
Oh, Willard's getting blocked hard by that spike there. He had to hit that quite a few times.
That's about as close to a Zelda 1 Dark Nut room as you'll see in A Link to the Past. A room full of 8 guns.
Yeah, the subtle shout-outs to Z1 whenever it comes to Randomizer. That was rude. Yeah, this is definitely an interesting thing. Like seeing Andy, obviously he's got to find the big key, but seeing him check extra chests in in the Meyer shed and things like that. That rat did not want to die.
Yeah, it's kind of like the rats that live in the cities that are just annoying and they don't want to die.
Did he get the left side hint? Where was that left
I'll
side?
see momentarily. If he didn't, Willard did. And the Keys got him.
Oh man, and deaths in Mire are always rough, especially because you gotta go through and go through this room again, because this room is no bueno. Okay, so he did get the hint. Chat's confirming that. I'm not 100% sure. I wasn't 100% sure. And another feature of hard mode / expert mode, you only get 1 heart from using your powder on those guys. Boom, Andy through. Good job. Yeah, Willard's been good about not getting any deaths. Andy has had a couple of unfortunate moments where he died. He died trying to go through the back or front way, getting to the back of escape. He just died here in Mire. Other than intentional deaths, I don't think Willard has had an unintentional death.
As far as I can tell, I believe you are to be correct. Jeez, what kind of English was that?
Oh man, this room is also rough. Oh, that's why. Because that guy's going to throw bombs towards you, and it's going to... Oh, he killed himself. He killed himself.
The palace guards that throw bombs are vulnerable to their own ordnance.
Yeah, Pod Lionel. Chat reminding us, Pod Lionel did in fact kill Willard.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think he did take one unexpected death, and it's one that, you guys know how that one got called.
So, does he go...
Take an odd turn. So
he's not going to check the big chest. He's going to go straight back. But he checked the chest in the shed. I don't know. I'm confused. I think he might have realized it after the fact.
Yeah, when you get down to one-offs and guessing which to do first, that's where rando saves can really get grindy. And you also have to wonder, what if I last location this thing, which you never want to do, because that's just the worst feeling for any rando player, is that your last location an item.
Oh, he just got Randomizer. Alright, so we've got Willard coming around. Is he going to Peg Cave? If Willard goes to Peg Cave right now and gets his boots, Willard's in this.
Absolutely. It's pretty much the only thing that puts Willard in this. No, he is going in Thieves Town. Okay. Oh my.
This is still, of course, a waste of time, we know that, but he could still go to Peg Cave after this. If he goes to Peg Cave after this, he's got it. Willard has already done Smiths. Willard did Smiths as well. Vanilla? Why we got 3 vanilla bosses? Come on, gang. And a vanilla chicken hut. I demand a recount.
Good starting strategy by Andy to just throw bombs into the nets of enemies just to get some damage in to start. Oh my lord, these eyes hurt!
Oh man.
To getting hit by an iron knuckle and Ocarina of Time.
Man, I tell you what though, the skill of these two, Andy doing an amazing dodge on these eyes, and as well as Willard doing an amazing job on the dodge of the chain chomp. Just, man. absolute clinching moments, scary, and like you're just like makes you want to scream. It's
Yeah,
insane.
these are real butt-clenching moments, especially with that random lightning out of Vitreous. But Andy clutches it out, takes him down.
And now we can pull the pedestal. Alright, that leaves Swamp Palace, TR, and Aga 1 and 2 for Andy to clear. Meanwhile, Willard needs to clear Ice Palace, Misery Mire, Turtle Rock, and Aga 2, but he needs to find his boots, which are in Peg Cave, which is literally next door to where he is at right now. It's closer than you might want to guess. Andy being in go mode, Willard literally being right next to his go mode. Willard's decision after this will be the key. So Willard's going to...
I just about had a mini heart attack as I thought he was about to save and quit from there.
He's going. He's going. Will he go all the way? Take a right turn. Yes, Willard is going to grab his boots and be on his way.
The biggest pain about having to do Peg Cave for boots is that you have to do it the slow way, which stinks. No one really wants to have to do it that way, but this seed pretty much forced.
And I can tell he was so happy about that. He threw the pot right at the boots. He is like, great, thanks. I could have been using you for a long time now. And boom, mirroring out, he's going to be going to grab his Cane of Samaria and be in go mode. Yeah.
Anybody could have made that, and anybody could have routed this the way Willard did.
Yeah, they really didn't skip Peg Cave as much as that's kind of the way it worked out. They didn't have the ability to do it. They didn't have mirror. I think whenever they did their Smith run around, they didn't even have hammer yet. Neither one of them had checked the pyramid ledge yet, have they?
Willard, what in the world are you doing? You need the cane to beat this. Willard. Did Willard forget where the Cane of Samaria is? That's the only thing I can think of.
Willard. We love you, Willard.
I mean, anybody who's played a randomizer has had a brain cramp from time to time.
It's unfortunate, but I mean...
It's a very unfortunate timing.
Everybody who has played a randomizer, and you know, I agree with you, Leslie, there, man. It's we've done it. You've seen an item so long ago on, and the boots are typically the number one offender too. It's like you forget to go back to your library. You forget to go back and do something that you otherwise couldn't do, like Sick Kid, something like that, where it's just like, oh man, I've already completed this. He completed Desert Palace. He went and had to go get his green pendant to get his mitts. So now he is in this moment where he's going to head over to that dark room and realize I needed to mirror to desert first. Oh man. Ooh, those are some amazing dodges from Andy. Man, Yeah, the unfortunate events with Willard right now is it sounds like he may have just forgot where it's at. And he doesn't even have it marked on his tracker, so it's a big possibility that he's.
Wait a minute. He might have just had his memory jogged, but it might have been jogged almost hate to say that memory might have been jogged a little too late.
Oh man, so that wasted a good 4 to 5 minutes.
Well, what didn't waste time is that he death warped out of there to get his health back, which is a very good play at this point.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is he has the big key. He's going to be able to just walk back in and walk right back, but still, I don't understand going in there without the cane first.
Yeah, neither do I.
So that's rough, but that was definitely a huge that was rough. I mean, there's no other word for it. But we're at 151, heading into Turtle Rock for Andy, which will be his last major fight. He'll have to do AGA 2 and AGA 1. Obviously, you can do AGA 2 and then immediately mirror and do AGA 1. So Andy is on his way to getting his last couple bosses done. Yeah, I mean, it seems like he may have just wanted to find the big key first to come through, and he's doing the fake powder trick to get a heart out of that. Not a bad move. Every heart is valuable in this. He's going right, I guess, to... Okay, she's just going up that way. And the cape is in Turtle Rock.
That's nasty, game. That's nasty.
That's very interesting, considering the bug everybody's been talking about. That's a really bad spot for that guy.
To see this stuff first get powdered is pretty funny.
I mean, okay. To be fair, how often do you actually have powder? And I mean, they basically have full clear. The only thing they don't have is shovel and 2 medallions, and of course upgrades. But that's silly, man. That's silly. Early big key. So we're gonna be able to steal the Poke Key and move on. We don't have to get that middle one. Yeah, and the tracker, our tracker is doing a fantastic job. Really want to give another big shout out to our tracker there, Relkin. Thank you so much for doing that, clicking these buttons and making sure we are on track and knowing what's happening. And of course, as usual, big shout out to the runners, making sure you have your entertainment today, running this all dungeons expert enemizer with randomized swords, and my co-commentator Leslie Pro 04 doing fantastic, keeping me company and making sure everybody has the information as well.
Now, I saw in chat that Willard just gets to Ice Palace. He was there. He did everything that you could without the hammer. So all he has to do really is just go down, beat the boss, and move on. Well, that's not what I had in mind when I said that, as he slips off the ledge.
All right, and we're getting that Vanilla Vitreous boss. Willard is going to go ahead and do some spin strats, and I'm not sure if he's going to pull out the bow or not. The bow is really useful here.
It is, but the only problem is you would have to expend, because there's 9 eyes, it would be 27 arrows if they all hit. Then you'd only have 3 for Vitreous' second phase. So this is much safer in that regard.
I think Andy forgot that he got the big key. He thought he was there. That's why he pulled up his menu real quick. Yeah, I mean, doing spin strats with arrows is the best idea because you can put damage on it and then use less arrows so that way you can put it on the big eye. I've seen a few people too also do bomb strats first, throw bombs, put enough damage on it so you only have to hit the eyes once or twice. So yeah, that's the thing though, Stargazer. A small key was not necessary there. If he was getting a small key, he would be expending a small key for a small key because you get one from the pokey. So Willard has Vitreous down in Misery Mire. He has 2 more bosses to go. Ice Palace, which is actually a pretty fast go mode, to be fair. And then he will have to go to TR as well.
So the one thing that's keeping Willard in this right now is the fact that he did Ago 1 earlier to get to the pyramid, which got him the hammer and got him right on track at that point in time. So that's really what's keeping this fairly within arm's reach. Question is, does Willard have time to pull off a comeback? We don't know just yet, and we won't know until the Duns are in IRC. And answer chat, no, the damage that enemies do is not randomized, it is still what we would say
Yeah, so it's vanilla damage on this, but the so Randomizer's on, but it's Chaos Boss. So that way that is set up. So
now going to Laser Bridge might be a blessing in disguise for Andy because he did fail another heart container. So he's up to 6.
Willard doing the Bombo strats too. This room is one of the rougher rooms in Ice Palace because you walk in and it's got so many things.
Hello, Cola Stair, and those spikes in the upper corners are creating this fight a little more interesting, and not in a good way, because even though Andy gives you an extra heart container, it's worth noting that it's still one Cold Stair hug and it's an instant kill. Now, was it just me, or do those spikes do damage to the Cold Stair's second phase?
Yes, that's what I was actually going to say. Spikes. This is the funny thing about Chaos Boss Randomizer. There's only one boss that doesn't take damage from spikes. And that's Mothula. Every other boss technically does take damage from spikes. Obviously, in some instances like Trinex and things like that, you've got issues with that. But we play a game here at Speed Gaming, and that is called the GT Guessing Game. He is almost there. He just left. Please get your guesses in chat 1 through 22. Where will the big key be today? What is your guess, Leslie?
I'm going for 12 because, well, this one's for Shades. Because he was going to pick 12 in a combo rando. I picked 12, he picked 14, and wound up being 13 and turned into a funny moment in itself.
I usually go 11. So I'm going to completely flip the script, and I'm going to say 22. We're going for the dream. 22.
So tile room, interesting.
All right, Hope Room had no key, so we're not going right side first. We are going full left side. I wonder if he decides to grab it and go. Number 3 is down. That is a heart piece. Gonna go ahead and grab that, kill off Bob. And while we are in GT on Andy's side, we do have WillardJBradley going into the Cold Stair fight, or what is formerly known as Cold Stair. And we're gonna be seeing the Stalfos room now. Number 4.
Incoming. Andy's just going to clear that nonsense out because he does not need a new Usain Bolt guard. Bad road on him at the moment. There's a small key. Another small key. and a big 20.
3 small keys in that room. That's actually pretty typical if you don't find one in Hope Room. Still going all the way down.
Willard ran out of arrows. He's gonna have to use an alternate strat.
Well done. I like that strat. the sit and wait strat. I love it. All right.
And for the Homer sprite, that's actually works out pretty well because Homer just stands there looking derpy as the Armos in the ice room fall around him. Must have been due to all the tough beer he was drinking.
Number 9, 20 rupees. We're going to be getting 10, 11, 12, and 13 in the rando room, aptly named because that is the only room pretty much you see in Randomizer exclusively. You don't see it in any other iteration. Maybe 100%, I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, NMG doesn't even go here.
Yeah, Hundo doesn't go here either because there's nothing of value. The only time you would find this is if you were, for some reason, doing an all-chest run, which, who would do that, to be honest?
Oh, that's one of those
Playing
memes.
casually. Yeah, that's definitely memey.
That's exactly what it sounds like to me. It's what they call like the otter categories and things like that. So, all right. So that's 13 down. We're gonna get 14, which is our Bob chest.
Oh, jeez, what? That could have been nasty, but Andy pulls through nicely.
You know, I said he killed Bob, but Bob wouldn't exist in this room, would he? Unless there was an anti-fairy. Oh, we have a Moldorm on ice.
We have another 8-eyed Moldor!
I don't think you could fit another eye on that thing. And this is actually not easy, man. You gotta fight this on ice, and he can get you in that corner. He does 2 hearts of damage. This is a fight. This is a fight right here. This is the one I was talking about earlier when I was getting confused about Ice Palace for no reason. But Andy, only taking a couple hits, doing a really good job. Small key, 20 rupees. Uh-oh, we're getting closer.
Yeah, this doesn't surprise me in the least that you find those 3 keys in Random Room and you have to go right side to get the big key. This should almost dictate that possibly it would have been faster to do, basically go Dark Magician here. We're about to find out though if Dark Magician would have been the faster call.
So we're going to see 18, 19, 20, and 21. Really, honestly, Dark Magician it's a viable strat. You know, it's one of those ones that I guess you could think about mathematically and see about it working out. It's always just a what do you got? When's it coming up? That's all it comes down to. All right, so we're gonna get our next few checks here.
Andy, ready on the
18,
mirror.
19.
20! No, yep, 19, and he got the Ether Medallion to boot.
Number 19 is your winner today in the Big Key guessing game. Correct answer was Zinbars. Congratulations! Your prize today is the thing that was in the Swamp Palace chest, Big Key chest. You just have to go find the Big Key and then get it out yourself. So.
And a spot on the leaderboard.
Oh yeah, that too. There is a leaderboard, but yeah, you can go have that Swamp Palace thing in the chest. So, all right, now the funny thing about these rooms, you really don't have to worry about doing any arrow shooting most likely because you've got the Igors completely gone because of Randomizer.
Yeah, red mimics can be a real pain, but what's not a pain is deciding to blast Gibdo with a fire rat shot and cook real quick.
And you'll notice Andy decided to pull out the hook shot to grab that heart. That's probably for two different reasons. One, it allows him to possibly get this little glitch where if you grab a heart at a particular moment in a particular frame, you will actually get a second heart. So you can glitch it and actually get 2 hearts for 1. And in Expert, that's really useful.
That's a glitch I didn't know about, but a good one to know if you're doing Expert.
Very useful to know. Oh man, silvers were really early. I honestly don't remember where they were. I want to say they were in Mini Moldorm Cave.
I thought it was somewhere in Kakariko Village or something really early. Yeah, it might have been Mini Moldorm.
I think it was the right chest in Mini Moldorm Cave. The far right chest. The boomerang also works, but the hook shot is... I don't want to say consistent because it's kind of random when it happens. But the hook shot is a little bit more consistent. It happens more often. And deciding to go ahead and say bye-bye to the annoying dudes here, because, yeah, taking your hook shot out and hitting all of them all the time, just bombs. Just bombs.
Yeah, there are a number of combinations in Randomizer where just bombos is the faster play, and all those Fury in Room 3, that was definitely it. But you gotta be careful with this, because you have another boss coming up right after 2 rooms after this. So you don't want to burn through too much magic in case you run into something that needs it. Oh, but we get vanilla instead?
Why? Game? I want my money back. I don't feel like I got my correct amount of randomization for what I paid.
Well, the only thing we haven't seen for a boss is blind, so yeah. Willard's about to take down Cold Stare.
Yeah, vanilla. There has been so many. I think this actually deserves the "is this even randomized" for these bosses. Even though we do see Cold Stare over in Trinex's spot, that's just silly, man. Like, we got a vanilla Landmo 2, we got vanilla Armos, we got vanilla vanilla. What is his name? Helmasaur.
Yeah, Helmasaur.
What else? What other vanilla did we get? We got so many vanilla, man. It was nuts. We have not seen Argus yet. We haven't seen Argus or Blind. Oh!
Andy, that was a very smart hover.
Oh man, we can't go one day without seeing a hover on an Andy stream, huh? Man, that spike was very rude. Andy decided to make it infinitely easier. Well played, sir. Well played.
Here comes Willard into Ganon's tower.
Alright. Oh! That would have been a rude Master Hand. That would have been really rude.
Yeah, that would... Yeah, in Randomizer you can get some very good wall master placements. Like, I've even seen them as far as Mini Helmasaur Room, and if that grabs you, that is a massive time loss that I don't even want to think about. Oh, and we got one more Cold Stare.
That palette change, and he's going for the quick hover. Oh!
Nope.
Yeah, denied. Denied. I can see him going for it again. Cold Stare is Cold Stare is one of the ones. You can get him caught in the corner pretty easily, but that's 2. Now,
I'm starting to wonder if the ice is having an effect on the hover. Because it's not like Andy to drop 2 hovers like that back to back.
I mean, he's done it. I've seen him miss hovers, but he got the 3rd one, so... Oh no! Oh no! He's got...
This is the one you can't hover, though!
Wait!
This is the one you have to beat.
You have to break the ice. You can't... Okay. Wow, dude, I did not know that.
I think we all learned something on that one. You have to break the ice in order to hover Cold Stare.
So, the big key in the... was actually on the right side. It was the bottom right chest. It was number 19 in this current route. So you got to remember, AGA 1 still needs to be done.
Got a double on that pattern. That pattern did not win for a double triple, unfortunately, for those who like
Actually,
seeing them.
this is interesting.
2, 2, 2. Nice 3 cycle.
So AGA 1's going to take some time to go through. It's not a it's a long trek, but it's not super long. But if Willard goes through here and does well on Muldorm in Ice Armos and gets to the right side fast enough,
Hold it. He's going right quicker because he just mirrored right there. He's going right. This could get him some time back, folks.
Galaxy brain right there, man. Willard is deciding to go ahead and do as far as that. Wow, so Willard's going to get this big key. Now, he can finish up. This is nuts. Wow, this is a good play. Very good play on Willard's part. So this is coming down really close, man. Really close. I like this play. Good job, Willard. All too often, I've seen vanilla big key in the vanilla room, and you're just like, okay, game. So taking the time to come over right and leaving that boss that is in a rough spot, there's so many bosses that are really rough in that spot. All right, he's gonna get he's got to get a key. He's just gonna go straight in and grab the key. He's not even grabbing the top left chest. He said, you know what, never mind.
Can't blame Andy for using bombos in that nasty room. Only thing it doesn't take out are those Igor.
Now, I don't know if I'd call it a big risk to skip the vanilla big key location because, in all honesty, leaving that to last and maybe coming back to Tyler Room for whatever reason is not that big of a risk because there could be a boss there that's just absolutely ridiculous and you could spend so much time on it fighting it, and then you've skipped it now. If you just take a chance on it being on the right side and skip those 3 chests, you're taking density over difficulty. So it was a good play. It was actually a very calculated play. I gotta give him mad credit for that. Yeah, that spike is gonna be rough, but he has cape. And if I'm not mistaken, cape still works the same. You can use the cape to go ahead and walk through a spike, right? The expert doesn't change that.
Yeah, expert doesn't change that whatsoever. If you're on a spike, the magic ring reverts to normal.
Yeah, he does have cold steer to do. That is true, but I mean, we're talking about coming down to a wire here. It's going to be getting into Ganon and who's going to be able to execute Ganon very well. Both of these runners are very good on their execution. Very good.
Absolutely. I would argue that these are 2 of the best runners in the community in terms of execution. Some people say that I have good execution. I will look them dead in the eye and say, you think my execution is good? Watch these 2 runners, because these runners make my execution look soft in comparison. They're that good.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we're getting the AGA Blue Balls guesses in. We did see how many were already there because of Willard already going through that. So Willard is not using his bombos in this room. He's going to go ahead and kill these jellies while Andy is on AGA 1. Oh no, he's in the wall.
Yeah, in the wall you have to get up close or use bombos, but at that point you're committed to not using bombos, so you're not using bombos.
This is coming down to how well these rooms cooperate with Willard. All right, AGA 1's down for Andy. He's going to be landing right on top of the pyramid, going to be going into the fight of Ganon, the final boss.
Here's Ganon! Can't humble holding a nose.
Okay. All right, everybody's doing it. Everybody's trying to hum with holding their nose closed, and
yeah, you definitely can't hum with your nose closed. I call a BS on that one.
yeah, with Andy starting the Ganon fight right now, this is probably about a 4-minute gap-ish. So unless something goes wrong here in Ganon fight, he's in phase 2. He's got to get through phase 2 into phase 3, and then it's kind of home free from there.
Yeah, so he does have to watch out. You can take a fire bat hit, but you cannot take a Hyrule Driver because it's a 6-heart hit, and that will take him out instantly. Now that answer, my nose sounds weird because I did that already. Note to self: be careful on.
So he took a fire bat hit because he when he hit Ganon, he bounced off, and it caused him to.
And just like that.
Oh, a death on Andy's part. That's huge. That is huge. He's gonna drop right back in, and he's gonna go in and really just go for it. And, hope to not get hit.
This is like going for it on 4th down in the Super Bowl. Either he's got it or he doesn't. He still has a lead, but that death definitely, without a doubt, makes this race that much closer. The cheese is that much more binding.
So close on getting hit by that trident, man. It went, through his head.
Must have been a duck animation we didn't know about.
I gotta say, he's got knowledge of these hitboxes. He's using them to his advantage. So Willard's coming into the Maldorn 2 location, definitely going in and fighting his Cold Stare. Gonna get it caught in this corner right here. Do his best to take them out. And doing a good job getting him caught and getting multiple hits with one fire rod shot. Gonna go ahead and use a blue potion. And Andy is in phase 3. That is a very good thing. It's almost scot-free from here for Andy now. Cold Stare is down. Oh, well, sorry. Second Puff is down. He's got Puff number 3 down as well. Willard's going to be hookshotting over to his last chest.
Yep, last chest doesn't need it, but he really needs his magic. Problem is, there is no magic that pops up in chest in expert mode, because half magic is not a thing. Andy, why did you... Okay, I just about had it. Whoa, that finish! He almost goes from falling off to getting the triple. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got Bacon. Get your GGs in chat for our winner. And moving on to the finals versus Tulane on a date to be determined. Andy, what's the official time?
I don't know, you were there. What's your inner say?
Yeah, well, the official time is 2 hours, 17 minutes, 53 seconds. What a race.
Man, Andy knocking it out, doing a great job, living up to the hype. We got Andy in with us. GG to you, sir, pulling out an amazing win. And honestly, could you give me more heart attacks?
Thank you. That was a really fun seed. I enjoyed it a lot for Randomizer.
Favorite part by far, Green Pendant being the lockout to the Dark World. That was amazing.
Yeah, I was actually really worried about Agana's item because I missed 2 bombs in the Helma fight, so I didn't have any bombs to go get that item, and I was like, man, if that's the mirror, that's gonna own me really hard. But it ended up being like a 5 rupee or something.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I do agree. The sea was really fun to watch, and I'm sure it was even more fun to play. I was really impressed with a lot of the routing choices you made. I mean, to be frank, I'm usually impressed by the routing choices you make. That's why you're always in the top of the leaderboards with Link to the Past Randomizer. what do you think was one of your best plays that you made in this? Like, what was one of the plays that you're like, wow, this really did play out amazingly?
So after getting Hammer, so I did dig game and save and quit because I wanted to do Smith without the mirror, but I also wanted to go to Death Mountain first. So I figured I would just save Hype Cave and Smith for all one loop, rather than just doing Hype Cave and then having to like single out Smith, because then I probably wouldn't have done it. And then, you know, did Death Mountain, got the flippers and the ice rod, and then did, you know, Hype Cave, Smith to Catfish and Pyramid, got the hammer. After Pod, I did ice, which ice was a bust, but you know, whatever. Then after that, I was getting really bugged by the 2 items I left in Thieves Town. And then Powder or Magic Bat and Hammer Peg. And then I ended up getting Fire Rod, getting to do Skullwoods into the 2 Thieves Town checks, which were terrible, by the way. That Hellway was awful.
Oh gosh, that was disgusting.
And then getting Boots and Hammer Peg was pretty big, because I very easily could have, you know, gotten Mirror first, going up to beat Hera, and then, you know, I might have, you know, gone into Swamp Palace or checked all the mirror locations. You know, it could have definitely been a huge time loss to do that first.
Yeah, the Peg Cave thing was crazy, because I think there was a couple of times that both of you actually were there and just didn't do it. I mean, I think y'all had the hammer at the same time, and no, actually, come to think of it, no. Because whenever y'all went to go get Smith, y'all didn't have it. Y'all did the Smith chain, you came back, and of course you couldn't go back to Peg Cave without going all the way to the portal and coming back. But going back over there to do Magic Bat would lead you to do Peg Cave. So, that's a crazy spot considering where Hammer was. Hammer being blocked by needing and flippers, and also needing to have that access that way, or doing Aga, which apparently there's a bug now. I was not even aware of until today about needing the cape for Aga. Like that's now a hard requirement because of the bug. I wasn't even aware of that, but that's just, I don't know. The location of a lot of these items were really interesting, and it did play out extremely well. The fact that the cane was there on Desert Palace, forcing you to go into Desert Palace and clear to go get the glove, to go get the mitts, to come back to Desert Palace in order to be able to go further because of the cane. Just wow.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting scene. Like there weren't really any bad rooms. Like Back of Escape was really bad, and I did it a couple times unnecessarily. But so I was taking notes on like what bosses I could kill with that current item set, which is like almost all the bosses at that point. But I like to like write down which ones I can kill. And while I was doing that, I was dying in Escape and like forgetting that I had just gotten a glove and I didn't have to do it that way. But
yeah, that Escape was extremely valuable, man. That was definitely crazy. So, you know, with this match in the bag, and honestly, really mad props to you, Andy, for doing not only one sweep but 2 sweeps in a row, 3 wins out of 5, just straight taking command. What are you thinking going forward, going against the Lane in the finals?
So Thelaine and I met in the round of 32 in the spring tournament, and it was 2-1 in my favor. He could have beaten me 2-0, I think, if he hadn't full right cleared GT at the end of our race. So it's definitely going to be a tough matchup. He's a very good player. I mean, everyone that was, you know, this far in the tournament is not a joke to beat.
Not at all. I mean, even with you you going, you know, 3-0 against 2 in a row. I mean, Willard's no slouch. Who did you play previous to Willard?
I 2-1 against Furium, I think.
Yeah, again, I mean, there's a reason we see all of y'all's names in the end every time. y'all are top tier.
Just have to step in for 1 second here to say that WillardJBradley has given us more bacon and wrapped up this race in an efficient time of 2 hours, 24 minutes, 12 seconds. Get your GGs in chat for Willard.
Yes, and definitely GG's to Willard as well. So we're going to be bringing Willard in here in just a second too, I'm sure. Did you have anything else that you want to say? Anything else that you'd like to capitalize on or talk about?
I am very ready for a break. but thanks to you guys for commentating and all the tourney organizers. It's not easy to organize a tournament. I stepped down from that role after last tournament. So
taking on the Zooter tournament next, right?
Not a chance.
Yeah, fair enough. But hey, speaking of tournaments that wrapped up, you wrapped up a 3-0 sweep to win the first combo tournament. Congratulations for that.
Yeah.
Run it back, but make it scoreless. Willard's in chat saying, GG's Andy, money match me. Oh man, and this is definitely why I love this community and I love these speed gaming tournaments, because you two gentlemen right here, Andy, WJB, just great sports, and y'all make it fun. Y'all make it fun to watch, and y'all really make it a great time every time. And I personally want to thank both of you for that, Willard in chat as well as Andy here in the voice chat. So
yeah, Randomizer's always fun. It can definitely be inconsistent with boss shuffle on, but with the items we got early this season, being able to be pretty much everything except for Argus and Trinex pretty much right out of Escape and Kakariko was real nice.
Yeah, and we actually didn't see a single Argus or Blind. So
yeah.
Those two were MIA this round. It's funny, not to go on too much of a tangent about it, but the one thing that I always think about with Randomizer, and you in particular, Andy, was there was this one seed that VTorp and Alucard both did that had the Usain Bolt card right there in Thieves Town, and the progression was right there.
That was nuts.
Absolutely. Willard, I was expecting you to come on in, man. We're waiting on you, dude. Come on in.
I got it.
Yeah, that was like one of the worst Randomizer seeds I've ever seen. Taking me like 90 minutes to get an item.
All right. And with that, we have Willard joining us.
Willard. Andy, I hate you.
I'm sorry, Willard.
But I also love you. But I mostly hate you. But I also love you. So it's kind of a weird back and forth. GG's, man. That was a stupid seed that didn't go as bad as I thought it would until the end. Yeah, a lot of errors, a lot of dumbs.
So the main thing I want to actually ask you, Willard, it wasn't your intention to go into Mire first, was it? To find the big key. Okay.
Are you kidding?
I was like,
who would do that? That's so stupid. Anyone who thought I did that intentionally is dumb.
That's we were making sure, man, because Willard J dumb, man. We just want to make sure. But,
I made a lot of mistakes, mostly skipping out on finishing Desert because I had it tracked that was green pendant. I just didn't consider it right away. So I was like, hey, Death Mountain, there's stuff I can do up there. Nope, not that. Then the Mire thing, that was a big flub. I think that was about it for big mistakes. And then my big gamble that didn't pay off was going into Ice looking for Hammer. Finding some great hints in there, and then
they were so bad.
Dipping back into Thieves Town for the two items was before getting that cave. Because I got Fire Rod. I'm mad because I considered it. I was like, I should go into the Dark World and do Fire Rod and Peg Cave at the same time, or Bat Cave and Peg Cave and Purple Chest at the same time. But
Yeah, so whenever you do the watch back, by the way, as soon as you walk into Ice Cave, Ice Palace rather, Andy had already gotten the hammer, and we were like, Willard, this is not a joke hint, it's real. Just trust the hint. And it was like, because it's a gamble by far, but at the same time, I felt like even though it is definitely one that you look back on, it's like, man, that didn't pay off at all. It very well could have. It very well could have.
I mean, I just got the flippers, so it was either going to be catfish, pyramid, or pod. And I was already in the area because I'd just done waterfall caves. I was like, who knows? Maybe I'll get a hint in here that'll tell me immediately where the hammer is, or something like that.
It was trying. It said, go back.
It's not a help. It was green. Clearly, it wasn't helpful. And then I was okay with doing the Aga Tower into Pyramid because I needed to do Aga anyway, but in expert mode, when you get a freaking cold stare at the end of the stupid dungeon, you have 0 magic going into Ganon, it makes so much more sense to save Aga Tower until the end to get that free refill, because I was going to need to have like Ganon have like a triple setup for me, because all I had was a green potion at that point. So even if I didn't die in phase 2, I don't think I would have had enough magic without some sort of like godsend. But yeah, I also didn't have IRC up. I minimized it once I entered GT, so I was like, there's still a chance maybe, but no. Routing didn't pay off, and then I just felt bad the whole time.
There for a minute, you're going into GT, the fact that you skipped the Ice Armos boss and skipped those 3 chests was actually really smart. That play was next level.
What was there?
Moldorm. It was awful.
They had Moldorm. Basically, too many eyes for the eye doctor.
There's so many worse things that they could put there. They could even put Ice Armos there, and that'd be bad.
There is, but it was a little bit of a struggle.
I mean, Moldorm is definitely not an easy one. It's definitely on the top end, but like the one I hate the most there is Helmasaur, because you move forward instead of backwards. So
Trinex, come on.
Trinex is bad too. Yeah, Trinex is bad too. Same thing.
That's why I mirrored out a rando room. I'm like, I ain't trying that. That's the last resort. If there's a Trinex there, I'm donezo.
Yeah, Trinex there in expert is pretty rough, just because of Master Sword, and yeah, it's just not a fun time.
The ice physics are so goofy.
Yeah. The seed was actually pretty nice, Randomizer wise. All my mistakes were from just me being dumb and routing poorly. Other than that, like death at the back of pod with the surprise Lionel that I wasn't ready for.
Yeah.
But all the bosses were really nice for the most part, except for maybe Moldorm 2 Cold Stare, which was not the worst, but not the greatest, especially when you can just hover it. Really wish you had got hit by that ice ball and knocked you into the pit and had to hover it again. That'd been great.
Well, I fell like 3 times, I think.
Oh, I saw. I enjoyed it.
But yeah, that is like the one boss that I do like to see there, I guess, because I don't have to do anything with it.
Yeah,
I have to break the ice. You can't go down the stairs or up the stairs without breaking the ice.
I noticed that too.
Yeah, that was a today I learned thing.
Going into this, I did some practice runs, and I hated every second of it. This is the worst mode like Retro's pretty bad, but this is the one mode I really should have vetoed. If I didn't think Andy would throw this at me because I thought we were cool, but he threw Randomizer at me. So I have now learned where our friendship is, and we'll now know in the future to always veto Randomizer. I think just like a pure example of that is that stupid torch room in GT with the spike. What do you do with that?
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
No, there's literally nothing you can do without using all of your magic. I mean, you could bomb jump it, I guess. But
or hover.
Or hover. Those are examples of why I don't think Randomizer deserves to be in a tournament, except for in its own tournament or something. If they just don't like randomize the unkillable enemies, it might be a little bit better. But at the same time, I don't think it works that way anyway.
I think they are working on revamping it to like
please do.
Put bow back in logic for killable enemy rooms so you can get locked out.
Oh my god, don't even get me started with the bow. I'm so mad. I went and did Eastern before Escape, of course. I boomeranged Armor. And then immediately went to Escape, and I was like, there's a bow in here. I'm gonna explode, and then there was. And I was like, well, that's how this seed's gonna go. Got it.
Oh,
Great.
no.
Wonderful.
Oh, man. I almost did Eastern first, but then I was like, I have the lamp. There's 7 items left in Escape. We're just gonna do Escape. You know, I don't need a glove necessarily to get all the way back. There's a small key, and then it had a bow and a glove, and then I died like 3 times trying to go through the back of Escape with a glove. It was good.
Good. Fun.
Yeah, that back of Escape route that Andy went on was just plug ugly. Like, if ugliness were bricks, that would be the big one.
I'm glad I avoided the sewer section.
Yeah.
There was a Pengator in the cross room along with a big spike, a small spike. And then I died in that room after getting the key. And then I was like writing down in my notes, and so I mistakenly went through again, and then I got to the room before the key rat, and a freaking red Tektite jumped from nowhere and just sniped me. So I was going to the door, and I'm like, all right, I haven't taken notes anymore. I'm stupid. Why did I do this? Let's just leave.
Yeah.
And it was like 11 rupees back there or something. It was stupid.
Yeah, it was 41 rupees.
All my rupees despawned in the back of pod, which was interesting.
Oh yeah, if you enter that room and then
die, they despawn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you collect any rupees, if you don't collect all the rupees and leave, they despawn. But if you collect all the rupees and say leave the dungeon, come back, they will respawn. That's with all rupee rooms and dungeons.
I guess I never really had that situation of dying in the back of pod. Ever.
Yeah.
How many guns did you get to go mode? I'm assuming you got your boots relatively early.
I go moded Swamp and Mire. I mean, Mire wasn't any different go mode than it would.
Yeah, because we got a hint for it.
Yeah, just Swamp.
Okay.
He actually got his boots pretty late, to be honest with you. He got them relatively late to get the cane to be go mode.
I got Hammer. I did Pod, I did Ice, full clear, and then did Bat for Fire Rod, did Swamp, went back into Thieves Town for the last 2 items, and then did Hammer Peg with Purple Chest.
So,
that's great.
Actually, there was a question I had for you, Andy. Whenever you hit go mode and you realized you were in go mode, you were still checking chests. Was that for hearts? Was that to see if you could get an extra heart? Okay.
Yeah,
I figured
that's why I checked Ether Tablet as well. Because, it's definitely not progression, but heart pieces are nice.
Yeah, 6 hearts is, for expert mode, is pretty comfy. 5 hearts is, it's a little scary.
Yeah, when I went into Mire, I had 5, and so I was still looking for a heart piece, and then
my heart piece was on the torch in GT. That was great. That was my 6th heart.
Turtle Rock, or if it was GT, I don't remember.
It was Turtle Rock on Laser Bridge.
But I'm bummed that I didn't even get a single win. I am 0-4 against Andy in total now. We did face once in the fall tournament, 2000.
Whichever one was it spring?
2018.
It was some long. That's because that was the last Swiss tournament.
Yeah, we were both what 1 and
1 and 2.
Like really 1 and 2. Yeah.
Yep.
I got Andy at 1 and 2.
Yeah, that was
great.
And I got like Ben and who else did I get? I got Ben and someone else in the first 3 rounds, and I was like, well, this Swiss isn't going to go well.
Yeah, that was the standard tournament. I remember that because I was 1 and 2 as well, and I had a chance to go against one of y'all, and I'm like, what is this? Why are these people in the 1 and 2 bracket with me? It was a pretty scary thing. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that's the thing about Swiss. You can get some real interesting draws early to get some real tough competitors knocked into the 0-1s and the 1-1s, 1-2s. Yeah, it can get ugly.
That's why you need like a seeded Swiss or something. But
Swiss.
It's hard to seed in Rando. I don't even feel like the seeds really mattered that much in the bracket for this tourney anyway.
No.
Not too much anyway.
Like if you took the top 16 from this tournament and soft seeded them in a Swiss and like made sure they didn't meet each other until like after the 2nd round or something, that'd be the way to go.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
I will say this though, y'all both put on a great show. It was fun watching. It was really I loved it. I loved every minute of it. This was a great seed. I enjoyed seeing how it made y'all go to different routes and things like that. And y'all really were never in the same place at the same time. Y'all were both always checking something different. I asked Andy's thoughts about at the end and everything like that. And Willard, did you have anything that you wanted to say? Anything that you wanted to mention other than how much you really like your friendship with Andy might be in trouble?
Dude, I'm ready for this salty sweet. What are you talking about?
Dude, I was, if I had won today, I was gonna throw it back at you and do game 4 was gonna be that mode with swords,
nice.
with swordless. And I was like, maybe I should pick something I'd actually, might have a chance of winning as opposed to definitely have a chance of losing. But yeah, overall, I'm really disappointed that I couldn't get a single win. My game 1 was like my best chance, I think, of taking a victory. And I've, ever since that really unfortunate Meyer big key, I haven't really been able to shake it. So I've kind of just winged the rest of the matches. And it's unfortunate, but at the same time, this is the greatest performance I've ever had in a random tourney. I think I've done like 4 now.
Top 4 is nothing to scoff at.
Previously, it's like top 16 in like the last tourney and whatnot. So I'm really happy with myself. I'll take on Korek for that bronze medal, and we'll throw in some retro for you guys, just because nobody does retro, so we'll make it fun. But yeah, it's a great tournament. Could use a few adjustments, like but thank you all so much for watching. This was a fun set. Thank you, Andy, for being such a cool dude.
Yeah, it's always there's a weird like line racing friends in tournaments, but I'm glad that we can come out still good buds.
Yeah, man, it's just a video game.
Yeah,
it's all video games in the end for sure.
It sure is.
But
thank you guys for commentating and stuff and tracking and everybody watching restream. Yeah, all I got.
Definitely appreciate that. And GG's to both of you. So down the line, it's going to be Andy against Delane for all the marbles and everything like that. That's the big match there. And then you have WillardJBradley against Korek for the bronze match. Stay tuned for that. It's a to be determined time, obviously, since this was the deciding factor for those matches. But also, thank you to Speed Gaming for throwing this tournament, as well as to our tracker Relkin for doing all the button clicking, making sure we know what's going on, as well as Leslie Pro 04 for being my co-commentator. Leslie, end us out, man.
That I will do. Thank you all for having me. Now, as for the upcoming fixes for Randomizer, yeah, unkillable enemies getting switched in for killable enemies would definitely be one of my big beefs there. I just thought I'd throw that out there because I've seen some ugly stuff with Randomizer, and I'm looking forward to seeing the adjustments they make once that rolls out. So that'll be something to look forward to. GG's to both Andy and Willard. Fantastic performance this tournament. I'm really looking forward to the upcoming matches whenever they get scheduled. Hopefully I'll be around for those because I do like watching as well as commentating those. As for what's coming up tonight, we have Donkey Kong Country 3 any % action on this channel in about 45 minutes. And then the big main event for tonight on Speed Gaming 1 is Magic the Gathering Arena with a number of folks from the speedrun community. That's going to be fun. You're not going to want to miss that. But for those who keep tabs for what happens in the community in other tournaments, 8 o'clock Speed Gaming 2, myself versus Sabotender in the SMB3 Rando tournament, and there are other matches for that across the Speed Gaming Network tonight. Plus, the nightly will be at 9 o'clock on Speed Gaming 4. So, that being said, for our tracker Relkin, our 2 runners, WillardJBradley, as well as Andy, and my co-comment on availability, I'm Leslie Pro 4 saying, have a good night, everybody, and take care. Plus, watch out for Lionels.